a ki he mauri ora. Ko te reo kia rere, ko te reo kia tika, ko te reo kia māo.
Ai, Velina, aloha, aloha nui. O wau o ka ho'okahi kanuha, he kupa au, ke ki papa o ka aina la'i mālie o nā kona kai opua i ka la'i, Hawai'i mokupuni, Hawai'i pai aina. Ina I wau, ina I mākou, ka Ngā Pūnana Leo. Ke Kōhanga Reo hoi o ko Hawai'i pai aina ea. Manei e kulaia ana, e kulaia ana I ka piha kanaha makahiki, ka au ola. No leila, ina I mākou e pili hoi me tanata whenua, o Aotearoa, no ka ho'olu ana I ko mākou manao, no ka ho'olana ana I me ka hāpai a e ana I ko mākou ho'ola o lelo Hawai'i ana. Nui ka launa, mawaina o ke okahi ho'ola te reo manei nei a me ke okahi ho'ola o lelo Hawai'i ma Hawai'i. A ka ke ike ia nei o ke ano ka holomua manei ua oia a oia ka mākou e imi nei ma Hawai'i. A ale ma ka palena a ka makahiki aku ia pai a oko e kai nei a me ka hiki ke ho'omau aku. Ano leila Velina, ka ho'okahi kanuha. I'm from Kona, Hawaii. I'm here with Ngā Pūnana Leo. We're celebrating 40 years of our existence and our revitalisation of Olelo Hawaii. We're here to celebrate that, but also to come together again with our cousins, whose struggle is very similar to ours, whose mission and whose goals and whose aspirations are very similar to ours. But we're here also to learn, to observe, and to be inspired. Because while our struggles are similar, I think it's very, very safe to say that you guys are a lot further along in the struggle than we are. And so it's a path that we are walking, and that we are walking as quickly as we can. But it's very good to be here to see, certain realities of what we hope to see back home. And it's a reminder to keep going. It's a reminder to not be complacent. It's a reminder to never feel like it is enough. And so we're very grateful to be here, very inspired to be here, and excited to take this inspiration back home, to keep our struggle moving forward, and to make our struggle a little bit less of a struggle every day forward.
Pūnana Leo, mana mokupuni nui o Hawai'i. Ke ola nei, ke olelo Hawai'i nei, ke ulu nei, a ka ale like me ka wiki I maki ia. A ka ke ulu nei, oia ka mea nui.
There's so much to say and you said most of it. But I think what I want to really point out, and I think what was the key factor that moved Kōhanga. Sir Tamati here was in the head of the Department of Maori Affairs. And a lot of those past giants of Maoridom, and they were, listened to what the people were saying, and they decided that what they said was all attempts to hold on to our language and build it up, because it was almost lost. They said the way to do it is don't depend on government to do it for you. And I think there's a real lesson in that statement, is that all of us should not rely on someone else to do for us what we should learn to do for ourselves. And I think for me that was the key of Kōhanga. When we met with those old people in Wellington in 1981, what they said was, stop asking the government to save the language. First of all, they don't know how to do it. and secondly, they don't want to do it. So the answer is, do it ourselves. Now, it's hard to tell people to do it themselves when in fact they've relied on government and everyone else to do it for them. I think one of the things I want to say is that we need to take responsibility for ourselves. The minute you let it go, you're not strengthening yourselves or your people. Anyway, those old people at Waifetu, back in 1981, said, stop relying on the government. At the time, Tamati Reedy, Maori Council, every year, fighting with the government to save our language. Maori Women's Welfare League, fighting with it. All Maori groups having a scrap with the government. And it never worked. And so those old people said, do it ourselves. And you know the answer? How do you do it? How do you do it? Because we've all been programmed for someone else to do it for us. The worst thing that can happen is to give away your responsibility. And it's so easy to do when you're not quite sure how to go about it. Anyway, you all know the answer. The answer was, those old people said, start with the whānau. And when you go out to the whānau, they're so used to someone else doing it for them. Number one. Number two, they want the money to be able to do it. Number three, they've got to stop competing with each other. And so it was hard to turn that all around and to value every single person in that whānau. All of them. I remember back then, when the whānau started, there was a view that the men, they should stay out of it. Let the women get on with it. Well, I'm opposed to that view, because if you're going to talk whānau, you've got to value everybody.
So this whole journey, this whole huaka'i, like what's been mentioned today, it's been super overwhelming. So much aloha, so much mahalo, and we do look towards Kanaka Māori and Aotearoa. You've gone so far, and there's so much like that i'ini, the desire that we're talking about. It's there, and we want to make sure that we're following in those footsteps too. We want to ho'ola, not just our olelo, but our maoli Hawai'i. I started in kindergarten at Ke Kulakaipuni, an immersion school, and from there I was nurtured in olelo, and growing up in the olelo and in the culture, that desire just stays within you. So you want to continue, and I went right back to Pūnana Leo so that I could continue with all the kamali'i, the keiki, and we can ho'ola and live in our olelo.
Aloha o wau o Kalia Akinaka, ua puka wau mai Ngā Pūnana Leo o Maui, a he pūkana mai ke kula kaipuni o Kekonike. Aloha.
Aloha mai kākou o wau o Pi'ike Alono no Maui mai au, ua puka wau mai ke kula nui, mai ke kula ki'e o Hana. Hi.
Tēnā koe, tēnā kōrua. And just tell us, why are you here? What is the purpose of your visit to Aotearoa and to Aotearoa?
No leila ua ki'i ia mako na alaka'i o ka papahana o ka Ngā Pūnana Leo. E huaka'i ia ne'i i Aotearoa e ano ho'ona'o wao, ano imi i ko kako maoli. Imi i nā mea e ho'oikaikai, nā mea e holomua nei a lawe aku i Hawai'i mako honua a mako mokupuni pakahi ano ho'oikaika ho'ona'o wau ho'uili i keia ike mai nā po'e Māori i nā po'e Hawai'i.
Tēnā koe.
So I'll just kind of say that in English. We came to see how everything's going here in Aotearoa and how all the Kōhanga Reo and all the different programs that are helping revitalize the language in Aotearoa and how we can take some of that information back to Hawai'i with us so we can utilize it in Hawai'i and ho'ola I ka'olela Hawai'i.
Tēnā kura. 40 years Te Pūnana Leo, Hawai'i. What has been the legacy of the 40 years of Te Pūnana Leo, you think?
I think it's just been, this whole journey, I just look at my parents and how thankful I am that they put me in the Pūnana Leo from 3 years old to 5 and bring me all the way up to high school in Olela, Hawai'i. I know that's not the journey for everybody, but that sure was a journey for my ohana. And I'm just so thankful to come back to the Pūnana as my kuleana, my responsibility to carry on, because everywhere we went over here, everybody was like, if not us, then who? Yeah, who else is gonna carry on this responsibility? If it's not us, the Kiki of Pūnana Leo who graduated, if not us, who's gonna take on this responsibility?
Tēnā koe. And for yourself?
A little bit different. I didn't have Pūnana Leo in my town when I was growing up, so I was sent to a regular school, English-speaking school, and it wasn't until after I had kids I realized, oh, I want to talk Hawaiian too. And we had a Pūnana Leo in my town, so I went to college, back to college, to learn Hawaiian, and then now my kids are in Pūnana Leo, and I have one in Kulakaiapuni, just like kaupapa. Yeah, we have all that.
Yeah.